As we always like to do it, we just had another beautiful rant about sports today, which is always a wonderful thing to do. Great pastime, great for the heart, good for the soul, great for the brain. Well, WWE rattled my brain with CM Punk. I cannot believe that happened. I cannot believe after years and years and years and years of adamantly saying no, CM Punk sold out. We'll leave it at that. I personally don't feel that way. I'm just happy to see the guy. But having said that, it is just because I physically saw him. Not because he was on WWE backstage. If my actual feelings on seeing him on WWE backstage is they better never have him wrestle again. I never want to see CM Punk wrestle in the WWE ever again, because the current creative would ruin his career, destroy the legacy he built. And it doesn't matter what he says to that. I mean, no one could disagree with me on that one right now. The current state of things, would you really want to be coming back? I mean, Steve Austin talking about coming back. These people that are currently writing the scripts, would they really want him, you know, would he really want these people to be telling him what to say? So that's the deal, that's the shit you gotta deal with the WWE. So we're gonna ditch the WWE, talk about something way more interesting. Something not involving WWE. I actually don't have an idea of what to discuss. That's why I just called this episode a brain wonder, because I don't actually have a plan for this one. I'm just playing Spyro. There's just so much going on right now, you know. I covered VAR, I covered some brief stuff in Formula 1, wrestling, tennis, you know, coming back in the season, the baseball in the States. Baseball just finished. And that was a strange one. Baseball, first ever season that I've actually been in, like a fan of baseball, understood it, watched it. I've got to say, I understand why people choose that over wrestling. Far more exciting than what WWE has to offer. What a sport! I mean, if you're from Britain, when you were in school, particularly if you were in Scotland. You would have played a game called Rounders in primary school, where you've got a bat, there's a couple of bases, you know, you've got to run to them, someone throws the ball, etc. This is the professional version of Rounders, and it's not like similar, it is exactly the same damn thing. And that's not me criticizing that, I think that's great. I'm just watching this thinking, fuck, this is awesome. I mean, this is what I used to play as a kid. And I'm watching these grown men do it for millions of dollars. It makes me realize that if I'd been born in the States, that my life probably would have been completely different. Probably in a good way. It's just crazy. Sport right now. I love it though. It's such a great world. I don't know how I never jumped sooner. I'm not sure where I was going. That kind of distracted me. Yeah, the biggest problem we're having with sports at the moment is technology. But I think technology is kind of starting to fuck with everything. You know, not just sport. But I talked about the VAR with Formula 1. We've now got issues with stewards in the first one was football. We've now got issues with stewards in Formula 1. They're able to rewatch tapes so often that they're no longer, nothing is classed as a racing incident anymore unless it's like very slight. And it's painful. It's painful, you know. Again, it's just taking something away from the sport for the sake of adding something, or that's what they think they're doing. They think they're adding something, but they're really not. And they're taking away so much from it. In football's case, time. In Formula 1's case, not danger, but risk. And this is supposed to be motorsport at the end of the day. It shouldn't be a matter of this should be completely riskless. It should be, no, these people are driving cars at so 100 miles an hour. The people driving them should be the people who have the balls to drive that car at 200 miles an hour. You know, is that just me, or I just think it's all going a bit OTT. It's like health and safety as well. But technology is overemphasizing that. It's adding extra emphasis to stuff like that that's already becoming irritating. VAR is very effective, but the rules in place that it enforces are being highlighted now. People are finally starting to go, okay, it's not the referees, these are the rules. These are the set rules, the book rules, and they are so inconsistent that people they can only blame the VAR because they don't think about it. They don't think, well, the reason that's the way it is and why it does that is because the rules are telling them to do it that way. So that one's down to people, but the reason the rules are at the point there is the same reason as everything else. And there won't ever be a good reason. There will always be a PR reason, but that does not make it a good reason. No, it certainly doesn't to me. But that's maybe because I'm not a company man. I'm certainly I certainly don't get overexcited just because of a brand and a logo and then devote my life to it without reason, without question. One day I might get put off Formula 1. One day I may not even watch the highlights for WWE or one pay-per-view a year. I might just stop watching WWE, full stop. And honestly, I don't think my life would be any different without it. Because, well, they're living in their own little bubble over there, you know. We're WWE, everyone watches us. Everyone just wants a show where you can watch something else. And in my lifetime, that's what I wanted. I wanted something different. I wanted an alternative. And that's not just me being awkward. I felt like that about a lot of things. Not just with wrestling. Wrestling it was something that as soon as I just started to get into the independent circuit, like the announcement of AEW happened, I was like, whoa, the timing of this is like nuts. Sorry, I know I went silent. I just completely lost my train of thought. Right, where do we head next? But, if anyone watches this video and the comments haven't been disabled because of some wankstain trolling me, let me know your opinions. If you think that technology is ripping the soul and skill out of sports. It's making everything feel very machined and computerized, and well, there's a reason why people get pissed off at FIFA with offsides. It's because it doesn't look offside. And again, we will reiterate, VAR was supposed to be brought in to cover and to, you know, solidify unclear decisions. Right, unclear decisions. So, guys like fractionally offside, like I'm talking like millimeters to the point where you can't see it with the naked eye. Why give it offside? Why? What's the point? Is there really that much of an advantage in millimeters?
Well done, Spyro.
Not in millimeters.
Nasty's world is not the. Are you ready to go?
It's just, everything is a bit strange when it comes to sports. If you are a sport fan, then right now, you want to just use YouTube. You know, Twitter's just going to piss you off. Instagram is just going to be full of posers. Snapchat is full of creeps. And Facebook is for friends. If you want to just stay on top of everything, utilize what I've said, and just try not to be too negative. I mean, I know I've just been negative about a load of things, but don't just be negative for the sake of being negative. Give there a reason, compare it to other things, weigh it up in the grand scheme of things for how things are in modern day society. Just be negative if it warrants being negative. Don't just hate for boredom, because I know a lot of people do that. Don't just hate for boredom. That's what makes you die faster. So, this has been a general brain wonderment. Probably not a lot was actually discussed in this in the grand scheme of things, but I'm bored, so sue me.